Candace Owens on The Breakfast Club. I know it happened last week,
Yes.
but the video currently has over 1 million views.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Over 1 million views.
Mm.
So I don't know The Breakfast Club. I don't know Joe Budden, rather. They don't probably have any idea who I am. But I want to say this, that what they did with the podcast and with the Breakfast Club is media malpractice.
Mm.
This month marks 4 years since Breonna Taylor was killed
Yes.
in her apartment by
Mm-hmm.
police.
Mm-hmm.
Candace Owens is somebody who implied that Attorney General Daniel Cameron was the real victim because of the way he was being attacked by liberal media.
Mm.
The Breakfast Club performs like they care about Black lives when they've covered shootings. And you had somebody on your show who made disgusting comments about Ahmaud Arbery, about
Yeah.
George Floyd.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, disgusting. Maybe you don't think it's disgusting. To not even hold her remotely accountable. It is just disturbing. And I actually don't blame her because, in my opinion, she's a grifter
Yeah.
and she's going to grift.
Mm.
I think it's just shameful from the Breakfast Club. And you did it because you know that it'll get you some money, some attention, whatever the hustle is.
Mm.
And to have, and now, mind you, your Nikki Haley interview was a failure. You continue to fail. If you want to put yourself in this political arena, you got to at least be competent.
Mm.
At least be competent. You know, Candace Owens is, in my opinion, anybody right now who is spreading propaganda, in my opinion, they are dangerous.
Yeah, for sure.
Dangerous.
Yeah.
Completely dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
And I just thought it was disappointing. I thought it was insulting. And what's so interesting about this moment, Reese, and I cover this in my book, The Grift, is that when there were these grifters on the rise, even in the 19th century, and you read the book, you did the book tour with me,
Yeah.
you know, they were called out by black media
Uh-huh.
at the time. And I'm
Yep.
talking about newspapers. I'm
Yeah.
talking about no social media,
Yeah.
no radio, no
Yep.
television. They
Yep.
were called out by black media, called out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And even in the 20th century, they're being called out by black media. The commentary around Clarence Thomas in the 1980s and 1990s is really brilliant. And even other folks. And now we're in this space where people who are saying harmful things about our community, and they go in these spaces that pride themselves. I mean, Charlamagne has said, when I think there was an interview, I think with Joe Biden, and they had to go. I believe Charlamagne said something like, "You can't do that to black media." Well, Charlamagne, with all due respect, you can't do this to black media. Well, actually, you can, because you have the
Yeah.
power and the influence.
Mm.
But I just want to say, it's media malpractice.
Mm.
She is. She has said horrible things that you can easily Google.
Yeah.
And to talk about the dead, at one point she said she might sue George Floyd's family. She did
What?
that bizarre doc, The Greatest Lie Ever Told. Her
Yeah.
book, Blexit, is full of just things that aren't true.
Right.
But I'm looking at them, not her, because we know who she is. We know who
Yeah.
she is. We
Yeah.
know exactly who she is. And she is spreading propaganda. And then, after she's fired from the Daily Wire, now she's asking for donations to start her own site. She's asking for donations.
Mm.
So, y'all will call someone like Dr. Christina Greer the donkey of the day.
Oh, yeah. They did do that.
And maybe at some point you called Candace Owens a donkey. I don't know. Maybe at some point you did, and now whatever. But y'all have called out certain people. Charlamagne went hard on Monique.
Yeah.
Went hard on Monique when she came on his show, on their show. Went hard on her.
Mm-hmm.
He was easier on Candace Owens
Yeah.
than Monique.
Yeah.
Media malpractice. I think it's a shame. Radio legends like Hal Jackson and Joe Madison rolling in their graves. Reese Colbert.
You know, I think it's interesting. Actually, we were on your book tour for The Grift, New York Times bestseller, The Grift, instant. I did ask you a question about the future of Black grifters in the Republican Party, because I believe that with Trump and this naked white nationalism, like there's no more dog whistles, there's no more euphemisms. It's just naked white nationalism that we're seeing. That's what the appetite is for the Republican Party, Christian white nationalism. And I pose this to Pastor Darrell Scott. The idea that, well, these racist Republicans don't really need Black faces to be the foot soldiers of their white supremacy anymore. It's not even as fun anymore to have the Black people say the outlandish shit. They want the white people. The fun of it is to be able to be white and say these things. That's how far the envelope has pushed back to kind of where we started from. Make America great again, right? The again part is when you could do all that shit and be governor, and be president, and be whatever. And so I think that what we're seeing now, another guy, gay Black man, Robert something or another, he jumped shit talking about, oh, he didn't like how he was treated as a conservative. Now he leaving the conservative part. What we're seeing now is we're seeing these Black grifters recognize that the party that they've been doing all of this carrying water for, that it's not enough for you to just be Black carrying water for white supremacy. You have to be white. So that's why it doesn't surprise me that Candace Owens' ass was booed the fuck up out of Daily Wire. Even though she married to a white man who's a conservative and all other kind of bullshit, her ass still grass. She's still out. So she's trying to find some community. All these people are trying to pivot and find some community with the Black community. And let's be honest. There is a lot of the horseshoe, right? The horseshoe theory, where you have a lot of people that find agreement with xenophobia, with sexism for sure. The Black woman is the least protected. So yeah, you ain't gonna have a whole lot of people that's gonna be up your ass if you saying sexist shit, whether it be about Black women or white women, whoever. There's a lot of what they say, they could find a home in the Black community for this train of thought. They didn't have
But you know what's weird, Reese?
Yeah.
She has said heinous things about Black men.
She has.
I mean, so it's not even it's misogyny, but she has said terrible things about Black men as well.
She has, but I'm saying that there's still that element of all of those trains of thoughts in the Black community. It's not as profitable in the Black community. It's more fringe. They ain't got no money. That's why they anonymous and shit on fucking YouTube, changing their voices and shit. And they got these little bootleg ass things going on, but there is still an appetite for it. So I don't think that this pivot is even that surprising.
No, it's not. I mean,
it happens. Everybody gets the N1 wake up call.
This is the blueprint.
It's the
Happened to
blueprint.
Stacey Dash, Omarosa. I mean, this is now let Candace Omarosa walk so Stacey Dash could. So that Candace Owens could run.
Yeah.
But I want to also add this. Some folks might jump into the comments or call in and say, "Well, we have to hear the other side. We got to hear the other side." Candace Owens has no side.
Yeah.
Ronna McDaniel, who just got hired at NBC News, she has no side.
$300,000 a year, I thought I heard.
Right. You only hear the other side if the other side is logical.
Right.
Not everybody deserves to be platformed.
Yeah.
So this idea of hearing the other side, hearing every other side, history has shown us that is dangerous. This is not just about a talk on taxes, small government, big government. This is people who have spread lies and misinformation
Right.
that stand by a
Yep.
bigot for president. Candace Owens may have got fired from the Daily Wire, but she is still a Trump supporter. She
Yeah.
was on the Breakfast Club babbling. So this other side ism, only if it's logical, if it makes sense,
Yeah.
if it's informed,
Yeah.
if it's lies and misinformation, that is not another side. They have no side. So
Yeah.
that's why I say NBC News too. It's media malpractice to hire Ronna McDaniel.
I agree.
The Breakfast Club. It is media malpractice, especially we as in black media, to have her on your airwaves, Candace Owens, and not even remotely hold her accountable, not even do a Google search.
It's the
Do you
accountability
know
part.
they probably have a collective of producers that you and I don't have, Reese?
Oh yeah, of
They have
course.
people who could do the research for them and have little index cards. It's just shameful.
But I think that I think to your point about media malpractice, you're platforming a dangerous political propagandist in a pop culture setting. And so
Right.
you're normalizing this person and it's provocative because pop culture, I mean, it's hip hop if you want to say that, fine. But pop culture platforms are meant to be provocative, right? And so it's entertaining when somebody gets on there and they say some outlandish shit or whatever, and that is attractive to that audience. But beyond just saying some provocative shit, this person is actually dangerous. This person actually has been on Capitol Hill testifying in ways that are anti-black, that actually are hurt or harm our ability to make progress.
Reese, she said the Southern strategy. Candace Owens said this at a congressional hearing.
Yeah.
The Southern strategy was a myth. Not even Clarence Thomas would say that.
Yeah.
Not even Tim Scott would say that one.
Yeah.
That it
Yeah.
was a myth. That's
And that's
and
that's
she
my
said this at a
problem.
congressional hearing. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Reese. I'm sorry.
No, that's my problem. I'm like, oh, fine. The Breakfast Club, you're gonna have pop culture people on there. You're gonna have Sexy Red. You're gonna have whoever on there being provocative. They might dabble in some politics and say some stupid ignorant shit, but that's okay because nobody is taking their political cues from you. But when you are platforming Nikki Haley, Vivek Ramaswamy, Candace Owens, and others, and you're not challenging them, you are normalizing them, you're making that you're having a conversation as though you're having a conversation with a person who has normal views that are rooted in reality, that are fact-based, that are evidence-based, that are policies that are not harmful, and you're just having a conversation, kikiing like back and forth, whatever, and you might be a little spicy here and there, but ultimately they're giving free range to say their opinions as though they're not harmful, is malpractice. Because I saw a lot of the feedback of, well, she ain't wrong. She ain't, she, how they, she'll tell a joke, she never tell a lie, that bullshit. People are looking at her like this is a reasonable person who just sometimes says some shit people don't agree with. No, she's actually not a reasonable person at all. But she's trying to kind of, try to get a couple of the blacks on her side. But she's not keeping that same energy because she wasn't on there talking about fentanyl and George Floyd and all the other kind of bullshit. You notice how she didn't do all that. But that's what she's put out there. So I do think that I really wish that if you're going to platform these people, platform in a way that doesn't normalize them, platform in a way that holds their feet to the fire, and that makes them accountable. And if you can't do that, then just don't have those people on. I'm sure it's a line out the or down the block of people who want to get on those shows. You don't have to platform these people, but at the same time, this seems to be what goes viral, what gets people going, and so it's like it's still a profit motive behind it.